Good morning and happy Friday. This is a beautiful Friday morning, and no matter what we're going through, we can find beauty in everything. And for those of you that this is the first time that you've seen me, this is the first time that you're hearing my story. I'm Dorothy Graham Odell. I'm in the middle of losing my father to a 2.5 year cancer battle. And this week has been one of the hardest weeks of my life, and Wednesday was the worst 24 hours of my life. So I'm just going to share some lessons because I was truly numbed out yesterday. But in that, God, my father, and my earthly father have taught me some incredible lessons. And I think there's somebody here that needs to hear those lessons. And I'll share with you a beautiful love story. So as you're coming on, just say hi so I know who I'm talking to, since I am sharing something straight from the heart that's real and raw. And I will say that there could be trigger warnings for those of you that have lost a loved one, um, and especially if you're daddy's little girl like I am. So the first lesson my father taught me is when medical professionals say that he's out for the count, he's not out. I've seen my dad in the last 45 years that I've been on the planet pretty much die right in front of me 3 times. And each time my dad came back. Hi, Sarah. How are you? I'm so sorry that you can relate. In those 3 times, I begged God to bring my dad back. Through this 2.5 years of cancer, I have begged for my dad's healing. I have prayed. I have been on my knees praying that God would miraculously heal my father. Till Monday, when I started praying that if this is how we're supposed to, if this is what it's like, then please just take them and take them fast. And my dad has suffered. My dad has suffered so much pain in the last 15 years. On top of before his cancer, he had degenerative disc from the top of his neck to the base of his spine. He's got nerve on nerve that is pinching. So my dad has been in chronic pain. Actually, he would go for pain injections, which I would get up in the morning at 4 o'clock in the morning and take him to the hospital, get the IV. I've been there through everything. I've seen my dad on dialysis. I've seen my dad off dialysis. The doctors were completely amazed. They said there is no way anybody has ever gotten off dialysis without a kidney transplant. My dad is the one. That is the power of prayer, people. The power of prayer is so huge. If you have Jesus in your life, you know that anything is possible. And I know that Jesus rises people from the dead. And I'm still not counting Jesus out that this is what could happen. My dad is still alive as of when I made the phone call, just check and see how he was. If you do not have Jesus in your life, then I ask you to definitely listen to the story and hear the possibilities that are all around you. So, like I said, the first lesson that I learned from my dad is when the medical professions say he's out, he's not. We were told Wednesday by his nurse that he would not last through the night. He had been in a coma twice that day, and it was the most painful 24 hours of my life. I had braced myself. I'm a very pragmatic person, so if I know something's going to happen, I brace myself. And I put the armor of God on me, and I'm like, okay, let's go do battle. Actually, God told me to suit up 2 weeks ago. And I'm like, okay, because I have been in different battles in business and everything for the last 2 weeks on top of all this. So I put my armor of God on heavy 2 weeks ago. So again, Wednesday night, I was prepared. I was prepared to lose my dad that night. As a matter of fact, we had said goodbye to him a couple times. I got the biggest hug of my life. I told him I loved him several times. And his sister had made her call on Wednesday night, so that would have been the last person that he needed to talk to. He got very agitated, though, after listening to his sister. And it was a huge, scary moments for me, I will admit, and I asked him to be sedated because It was just uncontrollable. So then, a lot of family members say, well, just tell him it's okay to go. We've all told him, even my mom, which was the hardest thing for my mom to do. But we all know that he is suffering huge. And this is not what my dad wanted. That person in the hospital, that is not my dad. My dad is full of life, man. My dad, nothing will stop him. And he is for his family 100%. My dad lives for his family. He drops everything at the drop of a hat for his family. And to see my dad in that hospital bed, that is not my dad. There is zero, when you're dying of cancer and the cancer is eating away at you, there is zero humility left at the end. Zero. And this is not how my dad would want to be. But he is not leaving us. His will to live is so huge that it's like unstoppable. And so I actually ended up having to come home last night because I couldn't endure another 24 hours that I had just endured. I'm like, and I had asked my mom, I'm like, are you like, we have not left my mom alone. We have a family friend. Her name is Stephanie, and Stephanie, I don't know what our family would have done without you. She has stayed from, I think it's Tuesday night to today. And actually yesterday was her anniversary, and we truly thought my dad was going to leave yesterday. And that would have been really tragic for him to pass away on her anniversary. And Wednesday would have been my nephew's birthday. And I'm glad that he didn't pass away on Wednesday, on my nephew's birthday. And my stepson's birthday's coming up. And anyways, it's not my timing, it's God's timing, right? So yesterday he was very coherent, and it's like his numbers go low and then they go high. Just when you think like his number was at 59, then it would go up to 90. And I'm like, what the hell? Like, this guy is just, his will to live is huge. He's a fighter. My dad is a fighter. And I called him Rocky yesterday. I'm like, okay, champ, how are you feeling? And then before my brother and I left, he goes, I feel good. I'm like, okay, Dad, we're good. We're happy that you feel good. We're going to go home now. So we figured we had some friends that say, hey, if you're around him all the time, that's why he's not leaving, because the soul will not leave somebody who they know that their loved one is there. So I told my mom, don't go in the front room, because we just don't want him to suffer anymore. I said, don't go in the front room. Don't turn the TV on. Don't do nothing. Just let him be for a little bit and see what happens. Which, again, all of this that I'm telling you is the hardest thing to do. When you tell your dad, hey, do you see your mom, your dad, your sister, and your brothers over there? And you tell them to walk toward them. I did that because I wanted to end his suffering. Mine too, but his. That was the hardest thing I've ever had to do too. And he goes, he's seen them. He has seen my grandmother. He's seen my dad, my grandpa, because he yells for them. And he took my brother's hand and he said, take care of your mom. I want to go be with my mom. And he's still here. My brother made those promises. I've made those promises. And he's still here. So the next lesson, though, folks, it's not our timing, it's his. And I don't think God's done with him yet, because yesterday, these lessons come to me, boom, 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 boom. I'm a very strong person, and I have handled a lot in my 45 years. If you don't know my story, go check back episodes. You'll find my story. I wrote a book about my story called The Overcomer, Facing Challenges with Faith and Courage. It is on Amazon. Anyways, but nothing has prepared me for these moments. So I said to my mom, like, I need to leave. I promise I'll be back. If he takes a turn for the worse, just call me and I'll come straight back. But I need a little bit of normalcy in these abnormal times right now. My mom says, you go. I said, are you sure you're not upset? She said, please, just go. So I got home and I texted my mom made sure that they were all good. And then she said to me something that broke my heart. And this is part of the love lesson. And I don't have permission to tell this, but it is so beautiful that I can't not share. And she said that Thursday nights were their date night. Yesterday was Thursday. They watched this show together. So she said it's their date night. And I said, okay, Mom, I'm going to leave you alone for the rest of the night. If you need me, call me. And I got off that phone and my heart was broken for her. But then it was like there was a release. I have not really slept at all this week. I've maybe caught 2-3 hours a day. And last night was the first time. Actually, I don't even remember the last time in my life that I slept 8.5 hours, but that I actually did that. So while she was having her date night with my dad, my husband and I were watching the football game last night, and which is exactly what I needed. See, everybody says God will not give you more than you can handle, not what you can handle without him. And through all of this, I have asked God, what is my lesson in this? Who am I supposed to help with this? What is my lesson in all of this? Because I believe that we go through things to help other people. And my lessons are exactly what I'm learning. That don't count somebody out before they're out. It's on his timing, not our timing. And patience. Sorry, I thought I was done with patience, people, but apparently not, because I still have a lot to learn. So, and everything is on God's timing, not ours. Because in these times, even though up until yesterday, I felt what we were going through was completely horrible. But I think it's actually completely beautiful because we get these moments with him. If he would just have suddenly died, you get that call that, hey, my husband died in a car crash or had a heart attack in a fifth wheel on the interstate, and his family never got to say goodbye to them. It's we get to say goodbye to my dad. It's funny because I'm prepared. Well, I'm as prepared as anybody can be prepared to lose a loved one, and I know that I'm very pragmatic. So my when I think of what's ahead of us, I think, okay, what do I need to do next in order to get Mom what she needs? And then, then I'll fall apart. But I don't really think that I will fall apart because there's so much love around us and so many people praying for us that it's actually not tragic. It's beautiful. And, I truly believe, I know I'm not the only one that has lost a family member to cancer. I know that. And I know not everybody shares like I do. And I know that we're all in the same suffering. So if you are in the middle of this, reach out. Reach out to me. Reach out to somebody. You're not in this alone. I just think that in everything, there is beauty in everything. And you just have to find it. I'm truly grateful for the 45 years that I've had with my father. I'm truly grateful that my parents have been married for 47 years. That is a legacy right there, people, because everybody gives up on their marriage so damn easily now. Oh, my husband pissed me off, so I'm going to leave. Or my wife pissed me off, so I'm going to leave her. Marriage is hard, but you got to stick with it. I've seen my parents go through some hard times, and for them to stick it together for 47 years. And I said to my mom, I said, our vows were in sickness and health till death do us part. And right now she's at the death do us part. And it sucks, but she's so strong. She is there for her husband all the time. She is not really left his side other than to just go to the grocery store or go get supplies for him that's needed. We are all making sure that my dad gets what he needs. We have a huge support system, so we thank you for everybody that has been a part of that support system, that has sent your love, your prayers, and that have lifted us up. And I don't know how much time I have left with my father, but only God knows. When my dad is ready, he will go. He's not clearly ready. So in those moments that we have with him, we'll just cherish what we have. We'll cherish the good times. And there's been a lot of good times with my dad. You know, when he loves totally. He loves with all his heart. And thank you, Tammy. So with that, in any situation that you're going through, I challenge you. Yes, you can think right now you're going through hell. And trust me, I know that feeling. When you think you're going through hell, keep walking. Look for the good in everything. Look for the beauty in everything. Look for the lessons that God is teaching you. Look at those around you, and do not stay by yourself. Do not just put yourself in that shell and give up. Keep walking, because God wants you to walk through that. The reason you're going through it is so that you can help others. God wants you to walk through those trials so that he can make you stronger. And God wants you to come out the other side. And I know that I have a massive calling in my life, and I know that I'm going through this right now so that I can help other people. Good morning, Gina. And Gina is one of my amazing friends that has made our family some soup, and I can't wait to have some of that soup today. I love you too, G. And, you know, it's just sometimes life sucks, but we have to embrace the suck. I know I've heard that several times. I know I've said that several times. Embrace the suck. Reach out to those around you. Cherish the moments that you do have. And just keep walking through hell, because you're going to come out the other side on fire. So with that, folks, have an amazing, blessed day. If you are in the middle of hell, reach out to me. I'm here on Facebook. I'm on LinkedIn, YouTube. You know, I'm everywhere. Yeah, I'm embracing the suck. And remember, what's the legacy you want to leave for your family? It's funny because as my brother is like a tough guy, and I didn't actually think when I called him on Wednesday, when we were told to bring everybody in, that he would come. I honestly didn't, because my brother does not handle this stuff well at all. But my brother has been there alongside us. And I grabbed my brother and I said, look at the legacy that our dad is leaving us to carry on. The legacy of love, the legacy of strength, the legacy of not ever giving up. And when my dad decides it's time for him to go be with his parents and his siblings, it's not because my dad gave up. It's because it's time to release being here and to let us carry that torch on. So with that, embrace the suck. Find the beauty in all. And I'll talk to you guys maybe tomorrow. Have an amazing day and love you all.